category called as Channa Avatar, or the hidden incarnation of the Lord. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, and he is a Channa Avatar. That means this category of incarnation, they do not accept or they do not assert that they are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they can be very well identified, spotted by the Puranas, by the scriptures. The scriptures corroborate, the great saintly authorities confirm that yes, this Channa Avatar, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I'm very happy that the most intelligent people of the human society have assembled here today. The Bhagavatam says, Yajanti hi sumedhasa. Those who are supremely intelligent, only they will recognize Lord Chaitanya. So let's begin today's discussion, some meditation on Lord Chaitanya. There is no limit to it, but time is limiting us, so we will stop at the right time. I would like to first remember my teachers, my spiritual masters, who have taught me everything, by offering some obeisances unto their lotus feet by chanting the auspicious pranam mantras. Om Ajnanaatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Shakhamvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Harite Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Dev Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. So we are going to discuss a very sacred section of the pastimes of Gauranga Mahaprabhu or Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is called as the Gundicha Maarjana, or the cleansing of the Gundicha temple. Even before I start discussing, I would like to tell you the Falashruti, or the result of hearing the Gundicha Maarjana pastime of the Lord. The Srimad Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Shri Gundicha Mandiram Atma Vrindaihi Sammarjayan Kshalantam Sagoura Swachitta Vachitalam Ujjvalam Cha Krishnopavesha Paikyam Chakara. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu washed and cleansed the Gundicha temple with his devotees and associates. In this way, he made it as cool and bright as his own heart, and thus he made the temple a befitting place for Lord Shri Krishna to sit. So anybody who hears this pastime of the whole purpose of displaying this Sri Gundicha Maarjana pastime. Gundicha, by the way, Gundicha is a temple. In the Jagannath Puri, there are two famous temples. One is the Sri Mandir, where Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, and Sudarshan are residing, along with all their devotees. And then just hardly a kilometer away is the Gundicha temple, where the Lord goes once in a year during Rath Yatra and stays there for a week and comes back. So the main temple, the Sri Mandir, is compared to Dwarka, and the Gundicha temple is compared to Sri Vrindavan Dham. So the Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after taking sannyas when he was there in Jagannath Puri, he performed this leela to teach everybody how to welcome the Lord in your heart, how to cleanse your heart and make it a suitable place for the Lord to reside. While cleaning the heart, what are the omissions or mistakes which we can make, which will be very perilous and dangerous for our spiritual life? All these things have been very nicely displayed by Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this Gundicha Maarjana pastime. Before the Gundicha Maarjana pastime, it is very important to meditate on the most merciful nature of the Lord. Only then we can enter the Gundicha Maarjana pastime. So, this is very soon when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned from his South Indian tour. The king of Orissa, Maharaj Prataprudra, was very eager to meet him all the time. He was a great devotee of the Lord and was always eager, when will I meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? My life is useless without meeting Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he tried himself, he failed. Lord Chaitanya immediately denied that I don't want to meet a pounds and shilling man. I don't want to meet any worldly man. What will a sannyasi do by meeting a king? So he completely denied. So Maharaj Prataprudra was very intelligent. He wrote a letter to Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, who was a very close associate of Mahaprabhu. And when Mahaprabhu was approached by Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, Mahaprabhu denied to him also. So therefore, King Maharaj Prataprudra did not give up and wrote another letter to Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, which said the following. He said, Sei sabadayalu more haya sadaya moralagi prabhu pade kariba vinaya. If all the devotees associated with the Lord are favorably disposed towards me, they can submit my petition at the lotus feet of the Lord. Tam sabar prasade mile Shri Prabhura paya Prabhu kripa vina mora rajya nahi bhaya. By the mercy of all the devotees, one can attain the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Without his mercy, my kingdom does not appeal to me. So when Maharaj Prataprudra told these words, everybody was astonished. He was telling that if I will not meet Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, then what is the point of being this king? What is the point of all this opulence? What is the point of all this vaibhav? I will just give it up and end my life. Rather, I will become a beggar and beg from door to door. What is the point of being a king if you cannot get the mercy of the Lord? This was his mood. However, the lesson which we learn, whenever we discuss any pastime, we will always extract lessons for practical application. So the lesson which we learn from this incident is the fact that if all the devotees are favorably disposed towards me, and if they are merciful towards me, then even I can attain the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya may not be favorably disposed towards me. He may not want to meet me. But if the devotees are favorably disposed towards me, and if they can submit my prayer, then I will become successful in my spiritual life. So lesson learned, try to find those devotees who are very close to the Lord and ask them to pray for you. This is the success sutra in Krishna consciousness. So Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya then said that, okay, how to do, what to do. He went to Lord Nityananda and he expressed this, that see, the king is desiring to become a mendicant. So Lord Nityananda said that, okay, let's go to Mahaprabhu. We will not request him to meet the king, but we will simply go and glorify the king. And let's see what happens. They all went to meet Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. 10 or 15 associates, they got together to present the case of Maharaj Pratap Rudra. But after going in front of Mahaprabhu, nobody could utter any word. Nobody could speak only anything. They were all stunned. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being the Paramatma in everybody's heart, could understand that, my dear devotees, you have all come here to say something to me, but I understand that you are not able to say anything. What is it that you want to tell me? So Lord Nityananda, he says that the king is very much desirous to meet you, and if you don't meet him, he is ready to become a mendicant. He wishes to see your moon-like face, and he wants to take darshan of your lotus feet. Although Lord Chaitanya became externally angry, but internally he became very satisfied to see the devotion in the king's heart. Lord Chaitanya said, I can understand that you all desire to take me to Cuttack to see the king. So at that time, the capital was Cuttack. This is the extreme merciful nature of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the natural reservoir of all kindness, and as soon as he heard the statement made by the king, his heart immediately softened, though externally he showed anger. The Lord was ready to go to see the king even at Cuttack. The etiquette is that a king should come and meet the sannyasi. But the Lord is so eager to bestow his mercy that he is considering that maybe I should only go to Cuttack and meet the king because he wants to see me. It is significant that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so kind that he was ready to go and see the king even at Cuttack. However, he said, no, it is not possible for me to meet the king. I shall not meet the king at the request of all the devotees, but I shall do so only if Damodar will give his permission. Another teaching of Lord Chaitanya. So there was a very staunch devotee of Lord Chaitanya. His name was Damodar Pandit. Very faithful, very staunch lover of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Whenever anything would happen which would taint or even touch the sublime character of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he used to become very alert. Once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very favorable towards a small boy, and whenever he used to come, Lord Chaitanya used to give him some Jagannath Prasad, to spend some time with him, give him his garland. So this Damodar Pandit, out of love for Lord Chaitanya, sometimes used to cross the boundaries. Srila Prabhupada would say, sometimes fools rush where angels dare not go. So this Damodar Pandit, the supreme lover of the Lord, or the staunch lover of the Lord, he went and told Lord Chaitanya, today I have understood what kind of a sannyasi you are. You are a fake sannyasi. Imagine speaking like this to Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Chaitanya said, have you gone crazy? Why are you speaking like this? He said that you don't know what you are doing, but I know what you are doing. And the world will speak badly about you. He said, what's the matter? He said, this small boy towards whom you are showing affection, his mother is a young widow. The world will say that this Chaitanya sannyasi, he is trying to make a connection with the young widow of the young boy's mother. Therefore, he has become affectionate to the young boy. Just see. Certainly, Damodar Pandit was a staunch lover of the Lord, but he used to do Maryada Ullanghan. In his love, he sometimes used to chastise and criticize the Lord beyond his position. So therefore, just to teach him a lesson, in front of everybody, Mahaprabhu is saying, I shall not meet the king at the request of all of you, but I shall do so only if Damodar will give me the permission. Srila Prabhupada writes, It is sometimes said that the fools rush where angels dare not, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to point out Damodar Pandit's foolishness in coming forward to criticize the Lord. This criticism is both necessary as well as unnecessary. Why is it necessary for a person in the renounced order to be very careful? Because any such criticism will affect the preaching work. People like to be preached by a person whose character is faultless, whose character is sublime. So if any small taint also comes, Sanyasira Alpachidra Sarva Loka Gaya. Even a small, just like in a white cloth, even a small mark comes, it becomes very big. It becomes highly visible. So Lord Chaitanya was very careful, and Damodar Pandit used to help him in being careful, but sometimes he used to cross the line, cross the boundary. So Lord Chaitanya was teaching that no matter how much you love, you should know your servitude position. That's what Lord Chaitanya taught. Again, coming back, so Damodar Pandit started saying, no, you need not take my permission. You're the supreme independent, supreme personality of Godhead. You can do whatever you want. All that he started saying. And he understood that henceforth, I have to keep my mouth shut. But the problem is that how to make Lord Chaitanya meet Maharaj Pratap Rudra. So ultimately, Lord Nityananda found out a way. Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janar Bandhu. All the fallen conditioned souls who are actually wicked, envious, and don't want the mercy of Krishna also. Their only friend is this spiritual master or the Guru Tattva, who ensures that these people who are not even eager to get Lord Krishna's mercy, they also get it. So Lord Nityananda made a plan. He said to Lord Chaitanya that if you, out of your mercy, send one of your outer garments to the king would live hoping to see you sometime in future. And to this Lord Chaitanya had no objection. Immediately he removed one outer garment and he gave. And the Lord Nityananda took it, gave it to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya took it and delivered it to the king. Lord Shiva told, Aradhanam api sarvesham Vishnur aradhanam param tasmat parataram devi tadiyanam samarchanam. Amongst all kinds of worship, the worship of Lord Krishna or Vishnu is the supreme worship. And even higher than the worship of Lord Krishna is the worship of things or people who are related to him. Tadiya. Tadiya means the devotees of Krishna, the dham of Krishna, the paraphernalia of Krishna, etc. So this outer garment, the Tadiya of Lord Chaitanya, coming through the another Tadiya, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, was as good as Lord Chaitanya also. If you go to the Gambhira in Jagannath Puri, you will see still the outer garment of Lord Chaitanya along with the wooden slippers of Lord Chaitanya and the kamandal of Lord Chaitanya is still preserved. So if somebody gets an opportunity to take darshan of the kamandal, the wooden slippers and the outer garment, with faith and devotion, understanding this principle, Tasmat Parataram Devi Tadyanam Samarchanam, it is as good as taking darshan of Lord Chaitanya. So the king, when he received this outer garment of Lord Chaitanya, he became peaceful. That somehow or the other, I have got a signal that very soon I will receive the mercy of the Lord. But again, the requests kept continuing, when can I come and meet you? When can I come and meet you? The devotees were trying to appeal to Lord Chaitanya. Ultimately, Lord Chaitanya said, Tathapi tomara yadi mahagraha haya tabe ani milah tumi tahara tanaya. The word tanaya means son. Lord Chaitanya said that if you are still very eager for the king to meet me, please first bring his son to meet me. So in many ways, according to the scriptures also, the father again takes birth as his son. So Lord Chaitanya said that, see, the king is a pounds and shilling man, he is a worldly man. He may have all good character, but just because he has identified himself with the position of the king, everything is spoiled. So therefore bring the prince. I will give his mercy to him. And that is equivalent to giving mercy to the king. So now very attentively listen to this Adbhut Leela of Lord Chaitanya with the young prince of Maharaj Prataprudra. The prince was very young, darkish in complexion. He dressed up in yellow dhoti and he came to meet Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya, as soon as he saw the young prince, he immediately remembered Lord Krishna. This is the nature of a pure devotee. Whatever they see, they think of Lord Krishna. Uddhava, when he used to see dark clouds in the sky, he used to think of Lord Krishna. When Arishtasur, at around 8:15 p.m. in the night, had attacked Vrindavan, at that time all the gopis wanted to take shelter of Krishna. And they were all calling out the names of Krishna. And the tamal trees which were there around, they thought that the darkish complexion of this tamal tree is Krishna. And they started embracing the tamal tree, thinking it is Krishna. Sometimes when the branches of the tamal tree would rub against each other, making that frictional sound, immediately the gopis used to become ecstatic that Krishna has picked up his flute and he's now going to play a tune for us. So this is the consciousness of the pure devotees. Or wherever they see, whatever they see the hand of Krishna or Krishna himself. Once Srila Prabhupada was traveling in a car and he saw that there was a young child who was trying to put a letter in a post box, but he was not able to do so, so his father lifted him and helped him to put letter in the post box. Srila Prabhupada turned to his disciples and said, see, just like without the help of the father, the child cannot put the letter in the post box. Similarly, without the help of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, we can't even know him, approach him, or serve him. So it is his mercy only that we are able to serve him. So this is the divine consciousness of pure devotees. So Lord Chaitanya, when he saw the young prince, he saw Krishna. And then out of love, he embraced him. And what happens when Lord Chaitanya embraces someone? Immediately they show symptoms, Ashta Satvik Vikar, the symptoms of ecstasy. The boy started shivering, perspiring, singing, dancing, crying, laughing, rolling, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Everybody was appreciating the great spiritual fortune of this young prince. Why I am quoting this pastime? Because I want all of us to appreciate the wonderful nature of the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Srila Prabhupada writes, the logic of Nagnam Matrika states that if a person is not elevated on such and such date, he cannot become an exalted devotee overnight. This particular instance offers evidence contradictory to that theory. On the previous day, this boy was simply an ordinary prince, and the next day he was counted as one of the topmost devotees of the Lord. This was all made possible by the causeless mercy of the Lord. The Lord is all omnipotent, all powerful, almighty. He can do as he likes. He can make someone a pure devotee within a night. So this pastime gives me a lot of hope. It makes me hope against hope. I need not wait for 70 years to approach the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. Although I am an extraordinarily fallen conditioned soul, although there is no hope for me, but my master, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one of his natures is that he does tasks which are impossible. He has delivered so many sinful people, he can make me his associate in just a short moment, in just a short duration. So therefore, I should always hope against hope and be always hopeful in the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So that is what we understand by the most munificent nature and the mercy of Lord Chaitanya by this pastime. When this boy became an ecstatic devotee, Lord Chaitanya told him, "You come every day. We will spend time together." And every day this young prince started coming, and every day he started interacting. He started getting the Mahaprasad of the Lord. He started spending time in the association of the devotees. And very soon people started counting him as one of the internal associates of Lord Chaitanya. This is the sublime mercy of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now that we have understood what is the potency of Lord Chaitanya's mercy, now that we have understood that by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, nothing is impossible, we will start our discussion of Gundicha Maarjana, and we will do it for some time. The Rath Yatra started, and the Lord's darshan closed for some time. So at that time, Lord Chaitanya decided to clean the Gundicha temple. He called for Kashi Mishra, the superintendent of the Jagannath Puri temple, and Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, 3 people. And he said that, "I want to clean the Gundicha temple." Now Maharaj Pratap Rudra had ordered these 3 people that whatever Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, don't discuss with me, don't consult with me, don't do any planning, immediately execute it. So Kashi Mishra is told that, "My dear Lord, this washing of the temple is not a service which is befitting you. But still, if you want to do it, we consider this as one of your pastimes or leela. So whatever you need, I will provide. I will provide you 100 brooms and 100 pots which you will use for the washing of the Gundicha temple." And the Lord, on one fine day, he assembled all his devotees, gave one broom to everybody, applied sandalwood paste. All of you have applied sandalwood paste. It was applied on the body of Prema Purushottam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Parama Karuna Nidhi Nityananda, and that was offered as Mahaprasad to all of you, and all of you have applied. So the same prasad, the Lord personally applied on all the Gundicha Maarjana soldiers' body, and then he proceeded. Now, the way Lord Chaitanya has cleaned the temple, it is a seminar in its own. Each and every aspect of, or each and every activity which he did is a learning lesson. Lord Chaitanya first went inside and started removing the gross garbage or the gross things which were there, like the straws, the leaves, things which can be easily removed, the dust, the sand particles, etc. After that, he started cleansing the ceiling. Once he fully cleansed with water the whole temple, that was the first round of the cleaning. This cleaning was not done mechanically. It is said that the entire beautiful body of the Lord was covered with dust and dirt. In this way, it became transcendently beautiful. At times when cleansing the temple, the Lord shed tears, and in some places he even cleansed the dirt with his tears. He even removed his outer garment and started cleaning. The lesson which we learn here is the service of the Lord. When somebody is crying while doing the seva of the Lord, that means they are really absorbed in that service. Service cannot be done mechanically or in a grudging way. Somebody has asked me to do this, I'm simply doing, I don't like it, I just want to run away from here after finishing this service. No, that will not lead to spiritual advancement. Spiritual advancement means absorption in the service. One needs to feel the Vipralamba Bhava while serving Krishna. One needs to cry for Krishna even while serving Krishna. We need to walk in the footsteps of Mother Rukmini. Even while she would offer personal services to Lord Krishna, she would always be thinking, when will Krishna leave me and go away? So although she was with Krishna, she would be crying that maybe Krishna will leave me. This is called exalted consciousness. So then the Lord started collecting the straw, the dust, the grains and sand in one place, and using his outer garment, he started throwing it out. After cleaning the temple once, with water thoroughly, he started cleaning the dust which is in between the cracks, the corners, the dust which is deeply embedded. So all this explain how we need to cleanse our heart. First, we need to get rid of the gross anarthas. Then we need to get rid of the subtle anarthas. In order to clean the temple and in order to keep the others very enthusiastic, the Lord did the following. The Lord then told the devotees, I can tell you how much you have labored and how well you have cleansed the temple simply by seeing the straw and the dust that you have collected outside. So he ordered that all of you are cleaning whatever straw and dust you have, you should collect outside and make a pile of it. And we will see who collects more dust. And the person who has collected the least amount of dust will have to sponsor prasadam, sweet cakes, and other prasadam of Jagannath to all the other devotees. The Lord was personally instructing and showing himself how to do this seva. And the pile which Lord Chaitanya had made was bigger than the pile of dust, straw and sand of all the devotees combined together. So what are the lessons which we learn from here? A leader leads from the front. They set an example of how to serve the Lord. Lesson number 1. Lesson number 2. A leader tries to keep everybody enthusiastic and inspired by creating fresher, doable challenges for everybody. Lord Chaitanya said that everybody has to collect a pile of dust and we will see who has collected more. So this is a kind of a challenge. So management means to engage the people favorably or inspire the people favorably to rise up to a fresher and a newer challenge every time without demotivating them. So this is a very nice lesson which we learn. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada has done a long discussion in this chapter where he is telling how each aspect of the Gundicha Maarjana will teach us how to advance in spiritual life. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the world leader was personally giving instructions on how one should receive Krishna within one's cleansed and pacified heart. If one wants to see Krishna in his heart, he must first cleanse the heart. Shrinvatam swakatha Krishna punya shravana kirtana hridyantho hi abhadrani vidhnoti suhritsatam. So we have to first clean our heart. Shrinvatam swakatha Krishna. We have to hear about Krishna, chant about Krishna. By doing so, Punya Shravana Kirtana. It's a very auspicious activity and it gives us spiritual credits. It gives us spiritual strength when we hear about Krishna, when we chant about Krishna. Hridyantos thohi abhadrani. Whatever inauspiciousness is there in our heart. What is inauspicious in our heart? The lust, anger, greed, illusion, enviousness and attachments. So all those things will be cleansed. Vidhnoti suhrit satam. Krishna personally enters from the potholes of our ear, reaches the lotus of our heart and cleanses it. So when the heart becomes clean, then it is the place where Krishna will come and reside. Otherwise, not possible. Now, Lord Chaitanya, it is said that when he was trying to clean the Gundicha Maarjana, when he was trying to do the Gundicha Maarjana, he cleansed it so thoroughly that the whole temple, the walls, the floors, the ceilings, everything became spick and span like a marble. How many of you have touched a marble? How do you feel when you touch a marble? Very cool, very soothing experience comes. So similarly, when the heart becomes cleansed, one feels very pacified, one feels very peaceful, soothed. gets a soothed experience. The mind no longer is disturbed. When one chants Hare Krishna, their mind doesn't wander here and there. This is the effect of cleaning of the heart. That's why Lord Chaitanya has given so much importance to the heart cleansing process. So much so that the first verse of Shikshastikam also says, Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagni nirvapanam Shreya kaireva chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam Anandambudivardhanam pratipadam purnamrita swadanam Sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. One needs to cleanse their heart. Cheto darpana marjana. The mirror of the heart, which is covered with lust, anger, and greed, illusion, enviousness, and attachment, needs to be cleansed. Then we will see our Swarupa. Bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam. If we do that, then the forest fire of material anxiety which is there in our heart will be extinguished. We'll no longer be in anxiety. We'll be blissful and happy like the devotees of Lord Krishna. Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam. When the heart is cleansed, when the forest fire of material anxiety is removed, when the Swarup Siddhi has happened, when I have accepted that I am a servant of Krishna, then my good fortune starts coming. The result of the good fortune is Vidya Vadhu Jivanam. Automatically, simply by practicing Krishna consciousness, Jnana and Vairagya, they follow me wherever I go. I don't aspire for them, but I automatically get knowledge and detachment. Vidya Vadhu Jivanam. Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. Every moment I experience newer and newer realizations and pleasures in my services, in my practice of Krishna consciousness, which keeps me thrilled all the time. Just like those friends of Krishna, they were thrilled when they were entering the mount of Aghasur. Like that thrilling experience I will always get. Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam. Every step of Krishna consciousness will be like a dance, and my every mantra will be like a song. Sarvatma Snapanam. I will feel that my entire existence, my entire soul has been bathed in nectar. Millions and billions of years and lifetimes of misery will be lost and forgotten simply by seeing the tulsi leaf which is sticking to the lotus feet of Krishna. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtan. And the Shri Krishna Sankirtan, or the congregational chanting of the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, will be ever victorious. It will conquer me. It will win over me. It will help me to completely surrender to Krishna. It will make me a lover of Krishna. So this is the importance of Gundicha Maarjana. Now, if you carefully noted, I mentioned that Lord Chaitanya started with the straws, the leaves, the sand particles first. Srila Prabhupada explains, a material desire is explained as a desire to enjoy the material world to the fullest extent. In modern language, such material desires are called economic development. An inordinate desire for economic development is considered to be like the straws and the grains of sand within the heart. If one is overly engaged in material activity, the heart will always remain disturbed. In other words, endeavor for material opulence is against the principle of devotional service. Material enjoyment includes activities such as great sacrifices, auspicious activity, charity, austerity, elevation to higher planetary systems, and even living happily within the material world. So, when Lord Chaitanya is removing the straws and the grains of sand, he is in a symbolic way telling us, please give up material desires. न धनं न जनं न सुंदरिं कवितं वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद् भक्तिरहैतुकी त्वयि. O my dear Lord, I do not want great wealth, nor do I want a beautiful spouse, nor do I want great fan following, nor do I want so much name and fame. Neither do I want liberation. I'm happy if you keep giving me birth after birth, but please, in every birth, you give me the opportunity to associate with your devotees and help me with the opportunity to render some service to you. And help me to always chant your holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now, if you had noticed, Lord Chaitanya, after collecting all the straws, dust particles, he was using his personal garment and he was throwing it out. And after throwing it out, he cleansed the exterior also for the fear that these dust particles and other things should not come back again. So Srila Prabhupada explains that by his practical example, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has shown us that all grains of sand must be picked up and thoroughly thrown outside. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also cleansed the outside of the temple, fearing that this sand and dust particles will come inside again. Please listen very carefully. The whole act of cleansing the heart and removing the dust particles and throwing it out and then cleansing the exterior means that one cannot afford to become complacent in their practice of Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada writes, in this connection, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains that even though one may become free from the desire for fruitive activity, sometimes the subtle desire for fruitive activity again comes back within the heart. One often thinks of conducting business to improve the devotional activity. But the contamination is so strong that it may later develop into misunderstanding, described as kutinati, fault finding, pratisthasa, desire for name, fame, or high position, jiva himsa, that is envy for other living entities, nishiddhachar, accepting things forbidden in the Shastra, kama, desire for material gain, and puja, hankering for popularity. So one should not think that now I have become an advanced devotee. By the mercy of Guru and Krishna, by my sadhana, by my services, now I have crossed the stage of anartha nivritti and now I am a liberated soul. So therefore I can relax myself. I need not struggle to cleanse the impurities of my heart. I need not be savadhan. I need not be always careful because I have become immune of the Maya Shakti of the Lord. Lord Chaitanya is saying, cleanse your heart and make sure that there is no scope of contamination near your heart also. Sadhu Savadhan. A devotee of Lord Chaitanya should always be very, very careful. Should never take anything for granted, even if one has become advanced and even if one has become stable in their practice of Krishna consciousness. There is every chance that one will fall down like an abominable animal. So therefore one has to be very, very careful. The best way to remain careful, the best way to always keep, just like Lord Chaitanya cleansed the outside of the temple and made sure that the dust has gone far, far away, never to return. The best way to always be peaceful in spiritual life is to have a strong morning program, an uncompromising morning program. Being awake in the Brahma Muhurta, taking darshan of the deities, doing arti, sitting down in the Brahma Muhurta in the association of other devotees and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Listening to my own japa. at least trying to be externally at least I should be free of distractions during my japa. Then I should try to hear from the Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, I should have a strong morning program. Devotee means he or she has reserved the 4:30 to 8:30 of the morning time slot. Let the whole world go for a toss. This 4:30 to 8:30 or 9 is my time with Krishna, and I will do everything what it takes to be absorbed in Krishna consciousness in this time. Either I will chant Hare Krishna, or I will serve Krishna, or I will read about Krishna, or I will hear about Krishna. Let the whole world, let even Brahma, Lord Brahma come down and tell me that you need to give up your morning sadhana, the whole world is in danger. I will not listen to Lord Brahma also. First, I will save myself, then I will save others. Bharat bhumite manushya janma hoilo jar janma sarthak koi karo paropkar. So, talking about paropkar, one of the anarthas when we are not strict in our sadhana, when we are not very alert when it comes to our chitta, when it comes to our antakaran, when it comes to our heart, one of the anarthas which comes is jiva himsa, enviousness to other creatures. The grossest form of jiva himsa is to kill an animal and eat just to satisfy your tongue. But the subtle form of jiva himsa is to not be merciful on others. Srila Prabhupada comments as follows. The word Jiva Himsa actually means stopping the preaching activities of Krishna consciousness. Preaching work is described as paropkar. Those who are ignorant of the benefits of devotional service must be educated by preaching. Now please listen very carefully. If one stops preaching and simply sits down in a solitary place, that is material activity. If one desires to make a compromise with the Mayavadis, that is also material activity. A devotee should never make compromises with preaching and should never associate with non-devotees. Asat Sanga Tyag Ehi Vaishnavachar. Come what may, two things will never stop. My japa will never stop, and my preaching activities will never stop. And the things, and if I have stopped it, I'm actually doing jiva himsa. I'm actually expressing my enviousness against others by not helping them to get connected to Krishna. And the biggest obstacle in maintaining the spirit of sadhana and preaching is asatsang. So therefore, who is a Vaishnav? Asat Sanga Tyag Ei Vaishnavachar. One who gives up the association of non-devotees is a Vaishnava. One may say, oh, I have to always associate with non-Vaishnavas. Otherwise, I will not be able to work also. I will not be able to survive also. Association means having a kind of dealing where one has started to experience joy and enjoyment. When we start enjoying our discussions with non-devotees, and we start revealing our mind to the non-devotees, that is called asatsang. If we know how to keep the dealing at the level of dealing, that's fine. The chanting of Hare Krishna will save us. But if we have started enjoying our discussions and dealings, and if we have started regularly sitting with non-devotees and having food, that is danger, and that will lead to jiva himsa, and that will make us complacent in the process of cleansing of our heart. If you remember, I also mentioned that Lord Chaitanya cleansed the temple twice. First he cleansed, and then again he cleansed. So Srila Prabhupada explains, his second cleansing was more thorough. The idea was to throw away all stumbling blocks on the path of devotional service. He cleansed the temple with firm conviction, as it is evident by his using his own personal garments. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to see personally that the temple was thoroughly cleansed to the standard of a clean marble. Clean marble gives a cooling effect. Devotional service means attaining peace from all disturbances caused by material contamination. In other words, it is the process by which the mind is cooled. So this second cleansing, where I mentioned that he started cleaning the dust, the cracks, and the other things. So we should always be working on our subtle impurities in the heart also. In fact, the subtle impurities like the false ego, they are the last to go. So therefore one has to be very, very serious and sincere in Krishna consciousness. Humility means to understand where I stand in Krishna consciousness. Ignorance means to artificially think that I am advanced while I am not advanced in Krishna consciousness. And that is going to kill us. Now, in the process of cleansing, Lord Chaitanya had to do many interpersonal dealings. Sometimes he had to encourage some devotee, sometimes he had to chastise some devotee, sometimes he had to personally teach some devotee. Sometimes when some devotee was doing the seva nicely, he used to appreciate him and tell him, okay, please teach this to others also. Lord Chaitanya was very good in propagating good service. He was very good in creating leaders. Whenever he saw a leader, he used to say, okay, you train others now. So Srila Prabhupada writes, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to teach every devotee by his personal behavior. Apane achari Prabhuji vedas sikhaye. A leader should always set a good example. It should not be like the leader is telling you should chant 16 rounds and you should attend the Mangalarti. But the leader himself is sleeping till 8 a.m. and not chanting 16 rounds. So then that will not work. That will not work. So therefore, I often tell my colleagues and my friends that preach from your realizations. You may give a lecture of 50 hours, but in those 50 hours, if you have spoken 2 minutes from your realization, that is going to penetrate the hearts of the people. Because you have realized it. Jnana Vijnana Sahitam. What you have realized, and when you speak your realizations, then it makes a deep impact. So therefore, what will you realize? Only that which you practice, that which you meditate upon, that which you pray for, and that for which you struggle becomes your realization. And when you preach that, that has some effect. So by his personal behavior, Lord Chaitanya was preaching. So therefore, everyone who spreads the cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has to accept a similar responsibility. The Lord was personally chastising and praising the individuals in the course of cleaning as those who are engaged as acharyas must learn from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu how to train the devotees by a personal example. It has been predicted that Bangalore is going to become the first Krishna conscious city. We need many, many leaders. The metric which has been set is that we need 1 lakh devotees. We at least need 40,000 leaders to handle this 1 lakh devotees. Do you agree with me? Or considering the batch stage of Kali Yuga, we need 60,000 leaders to handle this 1 lakh people. So a leader has to set a good example. So the way Lord Chaitanya took lead and cleansed the temple, we have to learn from Gundicha Maarjana that every devotee has to cleanse his heart and has to become accountable and responsible in the service of Srila Prabhupada. You can't just say that let others do, I will follow. No. It's an emergency. Everybody has to lead in their own capacity. Everybody has to set an example in their own capacity. Everybody has to keep others enthusiastic and inspired in their own capacity. And we have to learn the way Lord Chaitanya did it. And we have to follow in his footsteps. The Lord was very pleased with those who could cleanse the temple by taking out the undesirable things accumulated within. This is called anartha nivritti. Did you notice that Lord Chaitanya took many devotees and cleanse the temple. The lesson learned here is Anarth Nivritti cannot be successful by my own endeavors. One needs the help of many other devotees to cross the stage of Anarth Nivritti. Many devotees have to guide us, many devotees have to pray for us, many devotees have to be merciful to us, many devotees have to be tolerant of us. Only then, by their prayers and by their best wishes, we will progress. Thus, the cleansing of Gundicha Mandir was conducted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to let us know how the heart should be cleansed and soothed to receive Lord Sri Krishna and enable him to sit within the heart without disturbance. The reason why I am speaking this Gundicha Maarjana pastime on the day of Sri Lord Purnima is because I want to highlight to myself and to all my friends sitting here that the ultimate purpose in spiritual life is the cleansing of the heart. Please understand this very clearly. We have all come to Krishna consciousness ultimately to cleanse our heart. Because when the heart becomes cleansed, then only we can render pure devotional service, which is the goal of our life. And this is an emergency. If our heart is not cleansed, we will remain wicked, we will remain with those 6 eternal enemies, we will remain with the 6 weeds of devotional service, we will become friends with the alligators and the crocodiles of philosophy, and then we will just rot in the material world life after life. Kleshada Shubhagni. One of the symptoms of devotional service is all that which is inauspicious gets destroyed. So it is important for us to feel the destruction of those inauspicious things in this very life so that we can get some hope of progressing in Krishna consciousness. This is something for which we have to strive very hard. We have to take lessons from the teachings of Lord Chaitanya and sincerely pray to him. My dear Lord, just like you led all the devotees and thoroughly cleansed the Gundicha temple, without your leadership and mercy, this cleansing wouldn't have been possible. Similarly, my heart, please make it your project. I am ready to follow the Shadanga Sharanagati. I am ready to do whatever is favorable for bhakti, and I am ready to give up whatever is unfavorable for bhakti. But I cannot clean my heart. Please help me. My condition is so bad that I don't even know from time immemorial what anarthas are there in my heart. I don't even know to what degree I am contaminated. I don't even know to what degree I am extraordinarily fallen. Please help me. You know everything. Just like you knew the nooks and corners of the Gundicha temple, and you know how to cleanse it. You knew when to supply water, you knew when to collect the dust, you knew when to and where to dispose the dust. So please make my heart also your project. And anybody who seriously meditates on this Sri Gundicha Maarjana pastime, they will receive the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and they will be delivered from their material existence. I would like to end the discussion by saying, the Gundicha Maarjana pastime is very big. I've just taken some lessons. I would like to end the discussion by one funny incident which happened during this Gundicha Maarjana. So once the cleansing of the temple first phase was over, in the second phase when water was brought, hundreds of people were ready making a human chain passing the water. When somebody wanted water, they used to say Krishna, Krishna. When somebody would say, give me more water, they used to say Krishna, Krishna. When somebody had to pass the water to someone, they would say Krishna, Krishna. And when somebody had to throw the water and asking someone to move, they used to say Krishna, Krishna. So the point which I'm trying to discuss here is that we should also make the name of Krishna as the only word of our life or the only aspect of our life. When we try to call some auto rickshaw driver, we can say Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. When you want to address your spouse, you can say Haribol. When you want to address your son, you can say Krishna Krishna. So in this way, we have to always keep chanting the holy names of Krishna. And then while this Gundicha Maarjana pastime was happening, there was one very smart devotee. What he did, he brought some water when Lord Chaitanya was cleaning the Simhasana of Lord Jagannath, and he was busy cleaning it. There was one devotee who started pouring water on the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. There was another devotee who started collecting the water which was being poured on the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. There was another devotee who started distributing that water on the lotus, which was washed the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. And this was happening. See, nothing can happen without the notice of the Lord. Lord Chaitanya was allowing it, but there was once innocent devotee who did it in front of the Lord. The Lord is sitting and he comes and he washes his lotus feet and starts drinking it. So then, Lord Chaitanya, because he's playing the role of an acharya, although he was internally very satisfied, but he expresses dissatisfaction. He calls Swarup Damodar and he says, "This person from Bengal has washed my feet within the temple of the personality of Godhead. Not only that, he has drunk the water himself and distributed to others also." So again, this is an etiquette. The etiquette which Lord Chaitanya is trying to teach us, that when we are in front of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we should not allow our feet to be washed or we should not let others glorify us. In front of the Lord, only the Lord should be glorified, only the Lord should be served. If we wish to glorify a devotee, we have to go outside the temple hall or close the altar. The idea is that when somebody is in front of the deities, their full attention should be towards the deity. Srila Prabhupada writes, "It is significant that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Swarup Damodar that the Bengali Vaishnava, your Gaudiya Vaishnava." This means that all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas who are followers of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are subordinate to Swarup Damodar Goswami. This is called Parampara system. The Parampara system is very strictly observed by the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the personal secretary, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's personal secretary was Swarup Damodar Goswami. The next group of devotees was the 6 Goswamis. Next was Kaviraj Goswami. It is necessary to observe the Parampara system to get the mercy of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. According to the rules and regulations, no one should accept obeisances in the temple of the Lord before the deity. Nor is it proper for a devotee to offer obeisances and touch the feet of the spiritual master before the deity. So like that, like this in the Gundicha Maarjana, many lessons were given. And after this Gundicha Maarjana was over, some other prasadam pastimes happened through, and again, through the distribution of Lord Prasadam, Lord Chaitanya taught many lessons to everybody. So every aspect of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes is an object of meditation eternally. 11th canto, chapter 5, shloka number 33 says, Dhyayam sada paribhavagna abhishta doham tirthaspadam shiva virinchinutam sharanyam bhrityarthiham pranatapala bhavabhitotam vande mahapurushate charanaravindam. The lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, the name, form, qualities and pastimes of Lord Chaitanya are objects of eternal meditation. Just like the name of Krishna is unlimitedly deep, similarly the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya are unlimitedly deep. Any fool who thinks that they have understood the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, my obeisances to them. But I can tell you that even the greatest Vedantist of this universe, Lord Brahma, cannot understand the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya without the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And if Lord Chaitanya becomes merciful on someone, even a small boy who knows nothing, can cross over the ocean of birth and death. And this ocean is full of various alligators of different kinds of deviating philosophies also. Please remember that pastime where Lord Chaitanya delivered that young prince. One day before he was just an ordinary boy, and next day he was an elevated, eternal, internal associate of Lord Chaitanya. So let's end today's discussion by meditating on the inconceivable mercy of Lord Chaitanya, by trying to follow in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya, by trying to follow the parampara system, by trying to make the cleansing of our heart the primary project of our life, and by trying to behave and act in such a way that all the devotees of the Lord will become favorably disposed towards me. Thank you very much. I'm wishing all of you a very, very happy Gaur Purnima. I'm very grateful to all of you. We will all now together break our fast with little Charnamrit. For that, we will close the altar for 2 minutes. And then once all of us have broken the fast, we will take 5 minutes to break the fast. We will do the Maha Aarti and go for Ekadashi Prasad. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.